sipping, I'm sipping, I'm sipping, I'm sipping, I'm sipping, I'm sipping, I'm sipping.
Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
This is Sippin with Sammie. I am Sippin with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together. And I got Saf with me.
Yo, I'm in the building.
And we got the legend, man, Ness, Loch Ness himself, Lou Gang.
Tapping in.
My God.
Sammie, you already know.
What's up with you, man? The hardest working man in the fucking city.
Hey, man, you know, I'd rather work now until my body can't physically work. And, you know, I'm just enjoying myself. There's a little bit of both. It's really enjoying myself and working hard and showing people my resiliency and, you know, my passion and my determination to put out good content and continue to be an entertainer.
So it's even funny that you said that, because that was what was going in my mind as I was driving here. Some of the things I wanted to point out or speak about in regards to you and your persistence. You're very resilient and you're very persistent, and I think that that's key. That's key to longevity. So
Absolutely.
you're already a legend and you're great and you're a vet, but that's what I feel like.
Getting older is like a, you know, and hip hop is it's thought of as you know, not a good thing.
It'll tarnish your jacket.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. But slowly but surely, a lot of artists is coming out and later on in their lives and really having budding careers that they did before when they first came out.
Yeah.
So
You know,
a lot of artists, Rick Ross, 2 Chainz, DMX was signed once and then had to get it right, and T.I. was almost dropped, like this close from being dropped, and then he got it right. So
Absolutely.
a lot of artists don't really start coming into success around you know, early 30s, I would say. So then you're setting yourself up for your 40s and your 50s.
Is it like comedy though, in a way? Because I'm an artist too, but just like you've been in the game for a long time. So like, you know, as comedians, you could be funny as hell when you're young, but you ain't really saying shit.
I don't think comedy has an age on it.
But
comedy is one of those.
But they say comedians get better with age because they got more
hell
content.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They have more life experience.
The older I live, the more wider my range becomes.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just,
I think that's people.
Yeah, hell yeah. As far as artistry is concerned, and comedians or anybody that's creates content out of anything, just nothing. We have an endless source of information and content to use for our creativity. Stemming anywhere from current events to sports to what's happening locally in our governing towns or cities.
Right.
Music.
Absolutely.
I mean, politics. You know, just, you know, the way things are going as far as black community, was all the things been going on with the Me Too and, you know, all the killings and police brutality. Like you have an endless
tap into everything.
source of information to pull from. So when I meet new artists and I meet them in March, right? And they got 2 or 3 raps, 2 or 3 good, strong raps. And then I see them in July and they have these 3 same strong raps.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, that's not what you want to do.
Right.
Because 6 months, you should have way more material and just way more things to talk about.
Yeah. And you should be out here.
So people are like, yo, you need to get with my man. He rap, he good. I'm like, yeah, but he got the same 3 raps that he got when I met him last year.
Right.
So he's not a writer, he's a rapper. So,
but you are a fucking writer. Like one thing, and I said it to you, but I want to say it on camera because I think it's important for people to know. Like, I feel like you never stop writing. You put out freestyles online constantly. You always in the studio with somebody or on your own time.
Right.
You always have a battle lined up within a month or less of each other.
Hell yeah.
And this is like a 24/7 cycle for most people to be able to keep up with.
Yeah, that just come to sitting back some years on my ass, just observing and looking. You know, at the end of my run with the Bad Boy situation, got a lot of negative feedback. A lot of people that was right around me saying it was over, and because I didn't have a parent company, so you know they beat me down a lot, and it was overwhelming. So I decided to reevaluate and just, you know, get myself straight personally for 10 years. So I've been dormant for 10 years. Yeah, I kept the seed planted in the battle realm, which helped me introduce myself to new fans, the younger fans. But my love for the music just came back from my inner strength, just watching and like, you know what? And asking the creator to give me the strength to get back in it. And
It ain't fair for us for you to put your pen down.
And sometimes you got to ask God specifically what you want, because
Absolutely.
he'll give it to you. Because
Absolutely.
before I can even stop asking him, he already
Start
thrust me
coming.
into it.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
That's ill. That's ill.
That's what's up. So 2 things I wanted to point out from some of the things we just said when you were talking about all the endless amount of information.
Right.
It takes me to the quote that art imitates life.
Right.
Right. So that was the first thing I wanted to say. But the second thing I wanted to say is when you were saying it's kind of looked down upon to grow older in this industry. So a question that I have for you is, as hip hop or rap is a young genre,
Right.
we haven't been around for that long in response, and I guess in relation to other genres. Do you think that has anything to do with why it's looked down upon to grow old? Because we haven't seen anybody really grow old through it
Until recently.
It's
right?
just, I don't know. It's hard to answer that question because we don't know if it's more younger people than it's old people or more older people than it's young people. So, but the hip hop generation, they direct and they advertise and they do all their marketing based around a certain age group.
Right.
And basically the age group, if I've long past that age group, you know what I'm saying? Long past that age group. And I think with rappers such as Jay-Z and Rick Ross, that's becoming more boss and executively growing and expanding their companies past their just
Diversifying.
artistry. I think a lot of the young artists are taking heed to that, and we can see it with the Lil Durks, with putting Vaughn on and Boozy putting Mo 3 on. So a lot of these artists that was successful artistry-wise are starting to be successful executive-wise. Yo Gotti with CMG. So I think that's the natural transition. So you have a certain window to do that. You become successful as an artist, you become the elder statesman, then you start passing the wisdom down, giving opportunities for the new generation.
And that's how you keep yourself relevant.
So
and
I
keep
think that's
yourself
just the
lit.
natural ascension. But when you get older and you're still trying to chase the artistry part, they like, bro, come on. But if you keep giving up good content, and
Right.
I mean, a lot of people don't talk about Juicy J's age. He might be like almost 50 years old, maybe. But because his music has transcended over time, it's just he's ageless.
Yeah.
And that's what you be trying to come. You try to put out content that's ageless, music that's ageless, and performances that's ageless. So, but the younger generation are the more targeted demographic.
But that's natural with music in general, specifically because
Facts.
There's a certain age group who has the most amount of free cash, loose money that they
Disposable
can spend
income.
on disposable income that they can spend on concerts,
And
tickets, t-shirts.
I think it's just
like that.
apparent in hip hop. I don't really think it's because R&B, Usher, he's well in his years. You know what I'm saying? He's not young anymore.
But that's why
But
I
he could
think-
come out with a project and it'll be well received as if
But that's why I think
he
the age
just
of
came
hip-hop
out.
is
Or
part of it.
Alicia Keys or any of these artists that's been out for more than 10, 15 years. It's ageless to them, but to a rapper, it's like, you old, bro. Come on, like let the young niggas do that. But
You also got to be able to keep up with transitions in hip hop. The style changes. In R&B, you don't have direct jumps from what the masses want out of R&B like you do in hip hop.
right.
You know what I mean? So you could sound dated real quick in hip hop.
Right.
Absolutely.
Trying to come back. And a lot of people make the mistake of when they come back, the first thing they do is try to tell you where they been or why they ain't been around. And it's like, no, you got to give us fire first. You got to make me give a fuck. Because if you come back and that's all you got for me, it's like, well, shit, you could have stayed over there.
Right.
So it's a lot.
What money bag, yo, you see that last shit you put out, you could have kept.
You could have kept.
You could have kept.
And our genre is the only one that does that. Because if you look at legends in rock, they have 20 albums over 50-year careers.
That's what I'm saying. Like
and
Suzanne
only
Boyle
2
just
of them
comes
was
out of
good.
nowhere and goes crazy at 45.
Right.
But if you look at these ones that got the 20 albums and they do the biggest tours, they have 2 albums that they've been performing for 20
years. Absolutely.
Them other albums didn't even
The
scan.
Rolling Stones,
Bruce Springsteen.
Motley Crue, Bruce,
Because he's always,
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
Like these
Ozzy.
guys tour all the time and they're older than the oldest.
right.
And it's 100,000 people in the crowd.
But what do y'all? I was about to say that. What do you think about? What do you think? Or how do you think the dedication or loyalty of the fans play in that? Like, how does your fans
I think you get all kind of different kind of fans, and I think your core latches onto probably the original you. You know what I mean? Like what they liked about you from the gate, regardless of where your art goes, they understand the thing about it that made you special. The other people are expected to come just for what they like at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're not expected to travel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not a thing. And I mean, even in battle rap, I've seen there's certain people that go town to town to watch y'all battle.
Facts.
Nigga don't battle for nothing, but he
Facts.
had every battle.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
The chick Kiki.
And that's a different kind of fan.
Nunu.
Yeah, Nunu. It's a different kind
Really
of.
can't put a title on what they do, but they just
They
always
there.
there.
They there. They supporting. They
it's
support.
like, you know what I
Motherfuckers
mean?
watch the battle to see Nunu.
Right.
Like shit like that matters.
But the answer to your question is time passing on. These myths are starting to be undone.
Mm-hmm.
These unwritten laws of you can't. Oh, you too old? No, everybody's doing everything now. We
I
are
agree.
in the last days, and when I say the last days, everybody have this is it mentality. Like this is it, man.
Right.
This is now or never. Everybody from the youngins to the oldest, everybody think this is their last shot to be great or be successful. So with that energy out there, it's just a people like who they like, they dislike who they dislike, and social media has made it easier for you to access who you dislike and who you like.
Right.
So it's no blackballing.
And
You
that
know
could
what I
be a
mean?
gift and a curse depending on
That's
how
what I was about to
genuine
say.
you are as a person through your artistry. Because like there's motherfuckers that, you know, everybody was talking about Wiz at one point.
Hell
All
yeah.
the youngins. And I wasn't hip. And then I watched an interview and I watched the vlog and I was like, oh, I get it. Then I started fucking with Wiz.
And
That-
then
you know what I mean?
We got these rappers that I won't say past because Wiz is a different entity, but
Yeah,
he
rock
had the Teller Gang and he had the artists. Remember he had Monroe, and then he had like a couple other artists, but
Shutty
it didn't
Woods, you know?
Yeah, Chevy still down with it, but it didn't reach to the point to where of an MMG or a CMG, and Wiz is still doing his thing, and people was okay with that. They don't like, oh, you ain't put nobody on. He tried, he did what he did, and he moved on, and people was like, they're not mad at him for that,
Right.
But somebody like a Meek Mills or you know, people are still. We know he's commercially successful, but people still waiting to see that side or maybe that the character in him that they see him take somebody from point A all the way. You know what I mean? They want to see that from him.
Somebody literally just said that at an event that I was at like 2 days ago. And we were talking about, it was another community. I feel like I was talking about somebody in California, but they were saying that's fine and good. But what about here in Philly?
Right.
And they specifically
Sometimes
said that.
that might be your album. Like, you ain't put the little nigga on. You like, no, I'm about to drop my joint. We know you lit. But like, man, like he in the trenches, like get him. So they be wanting that more than you sometimes. And you gotta know when, like I think Rick Ross fell back at the right time and pushed the engine behind what he did. And people, that gave him another 10, 15 years, I believe.
Absolutely.
Instead of just dropping album after year after year at every Source Award, every BET Award, you gotta, you know, pull back from the table and give people this chance to see different shades of you.
Oh, it's a time to run and it's a time to walk
Right.
in the industry.
So
and
with
when
Ness,
you're up and coming, you gotta run.
With Ness, people's like, we know Ness can rap was different. So you gotta give him something different to look at. You gotta lose some weight. You gotta dress different. You gotta be more, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that people is gravitating towards, you have to add some of these things to your arsenal. And
you address this in your music
Yeah.
too. You said it in battles and all of that shit. Like you've addressed it that way. So owning it is part of it too.
owning
Absolutely.
it, embracing it. Yeah. Sometimes people wanting to see you say you lost. That makes them feel that
you
they,
human.
like, yo,
Yes.
yeah, he
You
regular.
still
Yeah,
a
he took a
superhero,
loss.
Right.
but superheroes
He
come
lost,
from
but
something else.
damn, he said it.
No
It's-
superhero starts out perfect.
Right. It's nothing like I said men lead by being relatable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's why barbershop conversation.
Right. So it's like, how can I really follow somebody that won't admit his own faults and mistakes?
That's what you saw.
I can't believe his judgment.
That's
Because,
what you
you
saw.
know what I
That's
mean?
what you saw how to surf. That's what you saw how to surf. And not to like I'm not trying to start nothing.
Right.
But you saw somebody that was so big and had so much traction and momentum that when we saw them stumble, it was like, it's cool. Niggas still dope. But you fucked up. And he was like,
that's
man,
why I
listen.
gotta say, you gotta be careful of what you ask God for, because He will give it to you faster than you thought. Now with Surf situation, he wanted this. Once it get there, you might be focused on another different bag, and now what you was focused on maybe 2-3 years ago ain't really. So it's like Michael Jackson, like I got Michael Jackson money, but Michael Jackson want Bill Cosby money.
Right.
Bill Cosby money want Warren Buffett money.
Right.
Warren, he want Zuckerberg money.
Right.
Zuckerberg want Elon Musk.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like I want that. Oh, you got all this. I know. I want that though.
But you're not
But
settling.
you also got to be real with yourself in that moment to say, I can't put all of that over here right now. I gotta pull a Rihanna.
You
I
gotta
got a
know
lot of shit going on right here.
what you can handle.
I'll get back to this side in a minute, and I'm gonna respond to the fans every once in a while to let y'all know I'm still
So here.
checking out on y'all. But I gotta handle BI, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's your progression, and that'll put you in a position to help the next motherfucker to do
Right.
some cool shit.
So this is no diss at anybody. I'm just saying sometimes people, and it's the thankless job.
Absolutely.
All the things that Meek Mill has done for the community and for charity and stuff like that, they only highlight
But that's why I shout him out for that shit. Because
Right.
I appreciate the man
bad
that
or the
outside of
negative
music
type side of
done
things
for the
that
city.
you know what I
Right.
mean. So
And that was my response too.
Yeah.
you gotta. It's a given. It's a thankless job, and nobody knows definitely how it feels to be in that hot seat.
I was about to say, how many people commenting have ever been close to that position?
Right.
How many people commenting was even a man in high school?
I know it's hard.
Like you couldn't even control a class of 300.
It's hard. It's hard, and I can. Meek Mill's story is relatable to a lot of people here in Philly's story, and a lot of people in just the inner cities that come from dysfunctional families or single parent homes.
Poverty,
It's the
you know.
same story. So it's not like nothing that we heard before, but we once we we propel that person to a certain stature, then we really put the burden on them to be like almost. I don't know if you saw this movie, The Cobbler, like almost a protector or a guardian of souls. And like I said, it's a thankless job to where you can't even enjoy your success and the fruits of your labor because every move got to be how
Calculated and strategized.
And he's still relatively a young man.
Right.
To be talking about mogul shit.
Right.
So,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like-
So it's like, man, let that man. You got to let a person come into whatever they coming into. You can't force it because when you force
I
it,
agree with that.
it's never going to be
That's true.
Not gonna
what
be
you want
right.
it to be.
And
That's true.
we also
I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a top executive, putting out the new talent, filtering. You know what I mean? The people or the artists that's going to make the waves or dictate the climate of music for the next 10 to 15 years.
Right.
Like I want to have that. You know what I mean? Next to my name when
Absolutely.
I expire, but that's not my story right now. I'm still writing it. So
Absolutely.
for everybody that's like, no, he can't. I'm doing it in front of your face. And what's so bad about it, and what's bad and so good about it, is right in your hand every day.
It's
You
in
can't
reach.
escape it.
Right.
Even if you hate it, you got to make another page to watch it. The monitor.
You ain't lying. It get crazy.
That's
It
real
get
shit.
crazy. But
So
I
I'm
think
still
that,
getting your love through your hate.
Yeah.
But you and
That
Meek,
part.
you and Meek ultimately,
That's real.
feedback wise, are always
Yeah.
going to suffer from something similar. Because when people account for the time that you've been in the business,
Yeah.
they don't account for what happened in your life during those times.
Imagine
As
that.
big as Meek has gotten, Meek
that
has went to
window.
jail a couple
It's that
times
window.
and lost time.
It's those windows
You know
that
what I
people
mean?
think like. It's always the people with less than that have the most impact and influence over people with way more than they have. Because the people that's rich and wealthy
Are
and
the
got
minority.
the jury and all that shit and make the way out, they still want to have that acceptance from where they came from. So it's almost like
Especially in our community.
Yeah.
a holy war to be out the hood but still
In the hood.
And it's a dangerous war to fight.
It's a dangerous.
It's a dangerous war to fight, especially
It's
because
dangerous.
everybody ain't this, like it's so many circumstances that play into that kind of shit,
It does.
and everybody shouldn't
Loyalty.
everybody
I was
shouldn't
gonna-
do that.
Everybody for entitlement. You
Yup.
might have been that kid that didn't really get busy or indulge in selling
Anything.
drugs or hurting people, but you had that guy on the corner. They're like, no, leave him alone. This is my youngin. And then when you do something with your life, now he feels entitled. Like, I kept niggas off your ass. You like, goddamn, OG, like, I thought you loved me. Like, nah, where me at?
Right.
You on now. So it's like, and in the artist's mind, how can you argue that? Like, he did hold you down.
Yeah, but then how far does that go?
How does Fortnite? Yeah.
Where does that stop?
Am I gonna be taking care of grown men until I'm an old man?
Until I ain't got it no more.
But also, it's
Until
about
I can't take care of me no more.
But also, it's about intention too. For me, it would be about intention because when you did that way back when, what was your intention? What was your
Those aren't
purpose?
the
What's the
conversations.
cutoff?
That's not the
You see what I'm saying?
conversation that's going to be
Right.
had.
It's not going to be had. That's not. No. I'm not saying the conversation is going to be had, but I'm saying that's the real point, though.
No, that's absolutely
the
first
point.
thing
Like,
that popped in my head while he was saying it.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, if I'm a kid and you looking out, then I was a kid and you fucking looked out.
that was my point.
But at
That's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
time, when grown men ain't doing where the fuck they think they should be in life, and they feel like you got there easier, for one, and for two, with assistance from them, if they could put themselves in that timeline,
Right.
I'm sure.
my God,
They're
it's
gonna
hard
do
as
it.
fuck to
I'm
try to
sure.
explain it. You would have to have somebody on his level telling me a nut for that.
Yeah, and that
Because he
it's
can't
way
hear it
easier
coming from
for
you.
them to go kick in the door and try to rob a store than hit you with that psychological bullshit.
right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, the dichotomy of it is so fucked up, and that's why I say, depending on who you was or what hood we talking about,
Right.
that's not your responsibility. Because you can affect change in the neighborhood other ways. You don't have to. It's good to let the kids see you out there, but you pick your spots, you pick your times, and then you help from higher up.
Right.
You send shit down the pipe. You know what I mean? You
It's
use
only the
resources that
people-
are already there.
Sometimes
You help
it's
them.
only the people with less than that always have an opinion on the people that's fortunate and what they should be doing.
Because they don't owe you shit.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And I think we don't talk about that enough. Like, a lot of people say, Ness, you fucked your chances up. And I'm like, well, who was I with? My
Right.
friends and my family. So
Hold up.
But how they know?
When did
No,
you
listen,
pass?
No, I'm just saying,
Right.
listen.
When did you pass?
The perception. You know, I get these conversations all the time. So it's like, it be my own people that was right there with me.
Right.
Like, how you still right here with us and you did this? And
maybe because I was with
and
you.
I looked them right in their eyes. I said, bro, you was with there the whole step of the way. Every L that was lit, every piece of food that was bought, every clothing that was bought, you was on my hip.
Smuts.
So you helped me. So don't give me that. Why am I still here? You helped me run it in the ground. If
Why
that's
we
what
ain't
happened,
figure this shit out?
You know what I'm saying?
Why we ain't figured it out?
You ain't take me to somebody to go propel us. You did what the shit you did
Right,
whatever
you
I
did.
was doing.
Right.
So
I
you gotta
believe
put that mirror up to some people sometimes.
Absolutely.
Well, why you ain't do this? Well, bro, why you ain't do this?
Right.
Like why you ain't picking me up in the big Lambo truck and taking me? Why you asking me? Mm-hmm. Why is it equal? And that's why it's sad. Money is it cripples everything. That's why I try to feel the same way when I got it until when I do have it, because people only want the good for you or the best things for you or genuine when they already comfortable in their own lives. If your life don't affect theirs, they cool, they can take care of their family, then they want the best for you. But if they have left stand, yo, it should be helping niggas. Mm-hmm. And it's not good, man. It's not good. It's
But
not.
you know what though? It's crazy because at the same time as you could tell me I could be helping niggas, you could have came and got some help. I could have put you on a gig. I could have put you on a hustle. I could have put you onto a regiment, a lifestyle, through some people that know what the fuck they talking about that would have helped you better your position.
It's sad because you.
But
can't
you didn't
save
show up.
everybody.
You didn't even pull
Save
up to
everybody.
check out my thing to see what I had going on to see if you could help me.
Right. So that brings
You
me
make
to,
enemies on people with people that you
You
didn't
love
even,
the most.
Yeah, you love
Yeah.
the most, and sometimes you was unbeknownst of them being an enemy of something small.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Yo, you ain't come through and signed an
going through it.
autograph, and that was my folks, and no, because my man run with your man, or you be guilty by association, or you get a perk or a benefit or some type of opportunity from being associated. So I tell my kids all the time, I say, be careful who you tell who your father is, because you might run into some of my enemies. It's real.
Absolutely.
So don't volunteer a lot of information. Get soak it up before you start talking.
Giving out,
You know what I'm saying? Just don't, because my pop such and such, and my mom such and such. Because you might run into some enemies, or you might run into an opportunity. So you got to be subjective, and you got to be real careful, because you don't want my dark clouds or whatever, or enemies that I gathered through my travels, affecting whatever you're doing. You want everything good.
You want a clean slate.
Yeah,
because you was born in this world with one.
You don't never deny who you are, but you don't volunteer.
But everybody don't gotta know
Right,
everything,
exactly.
man. I mean, that's just rule number one. Like before social media, that was how things carried. Everybody don't have to know every
Everything.
fucking thing.
So
Everything ain't for everybody.
And the
I'm a
people that was
rapper, so
telling
I be in a
everything
lot of
look
circles,
crazy.
and a lot of times it be, sometimes it be about Meek, sometimes it be about Cosmic Kev, sometimes it be about anybody that they think is a gatekeeper. And people just gotta quit it and work hard, man, and get there. And
So the whole conversation brings me to a topic that we always bring up. I feel like almost on every pod is accountability.
Right.
And I feel like people got to be accountable for their actions, for good or bad or indifferent, whatever it is. You got to be accountable. And I think that speaks to everything that you just spoke about in the past 5 minutes.
right.
And it's really important.
Yeah, I think that, and now I see more people saying the A word, accountability, and like calling people out on it,
Right.
and it's like a trend, and it's funny because we've
been saying it for years.
digging on it for a while. Because like, I mean, I just talked to a young artist yesterday on the radio, and listening to his music, listening to how he describes it. He's 19 and he's already being introspective. He's already figuring out the flaws in himself and trying to figure out what motivates him, why he's in certain... Niggas don't get there till they in their mid-30s,
no.
40 years
Hell
old.
no.
And a lot of the time we're listening to people that haven't dealt with self yet. They haven't been accountable for who they are. They don't know their place in the struggle. They're positioning themselves based on, well, Ness got a future, so whatever the fuck. And it's like, well, bro, if you meet me halfway, we could bust something down together later. If you run your race, I run my race, and then we come to the table and buy this fucking parking lot, you know what I mean?
Real
It's
shit.
all the more better. And you'll feel better. You'll be a man. You won't feel like your wife owed me the pussy because I bought that house.
Right.
Like, that's where a lot of that shit come from. Like, you
So what
motherfuckers
I'm-
don't feel like a man
So
because they don't
basically,
know
what
what
I'm
that
doing
means.
what I've been doing is, the top of 2020 and all of 2021, I've been, just undoing that myth that old is not good. Or
You've
not
been
valuable
killing,
anymore.
undoing that myth,
Know what
bro.
I mean?
Yeah.
Even like physically watching the battle between you and K Walker was like the definition of this conversation.
Right.
He's
right.
telling you, if you an OG, then why this, that, and the third. You saying as an OG, this how it go, and this why you don't know whatever because you ain't had like it's the conversation, it's that talk that you don't often get out of battle rap. Honestly,
Hell yeah.
But it's a conversation that's always being had somewhere. I remember a point in time when we was becoming young men where everybody in my age group had to rumble one of the young boys right under us because they started smelling themselves.
Facts. I remember that.
Get a little bit of pussy or whatever, or start smoking weed or get some money. And all of a sudden, it's, I ain't your young boy, don't da-da-da. Or, you know what I mean? Like, little crazy
It's
stuff
the
start
natural
happening.
ascension of human nature, though.
So when you
It's
get
always-
older, you have that conversation. You don't just smack them. We talk about it.
It's with anything, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Plants grow, they die, and new plants grow in their place.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe, who knows if this cycle we call life isn't a
Reoccurring thing.
reoccurring thing. Who knows if I don't get born somebody else when I go, like the next day after I die.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
You know what I mean?
coincides-
Energy don't die.
Death coincides with
feel
life
me?
a lot.
You know what I mean?
As soon as you go to the funeral, you
But
find out
then
somebody
if
had
that's
a
the
baby.
case, not to get so deep,
No, go deep.
what's the end? What's the end game? What's the end and what you feel me? If this just a
I think that L
recurring
word,
cycle
the
of life
legacy.
and death,
I think it's the legacy thing. I think whatever
you know what I
position
mean?
you put in,
who's storing the information?
what did you leave?
Who's you know what I mean? Because everything's being stored.
But no,
All our stories is being stored. It's going somewhere in someone's data or memory.
but
Somebody
that's
like,
the twist.
This what happened to Ness. This what happened to this person. This what happened to Puff. This what happened, and it's stored. But then they got reborn as somebody else. So what happens to that
So
life?
that well, it
Or
gets,
that- or
it
that-
gets
or that-
carried on by it gets carried on through your legacy by whoever's still talking about it and posting about it and whatever.
Okay,
have
so
you.
what's the end of that? What's the end of that?
That's until your effect doesn't last anymore.
And what's the end of that?
That's
What's
I
the
love
fi-
it.
no, but
I love it.
it's crazy.
You get what
but,
I'm saying though?
Absolutely.
But there's
What's-
always a what's the
Because people say up there is not the final thing.
Right.
Right.
They say when you down here, that's not final.
Mm-hmm.
They say us right now, we just borrowing time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not final. So what's final?
Nothing is final.
Because if you go up there and sit with beings, then what did you leave here?
Why are we fighting for final?
No, I'm just saying I'm not fighting for it. You know, the question we always asking is why? Where did we come from and why? Why? You know what I mean? So I'm going past that. What's the, you know, what was the purpose and what is the end game? What was all this? Are we what they portrayed in the Matrix? Are we just bunch of batteries that just, you know, keeping this planet going for another bigger battery to be attached to it?
Possibly.
Maybe as a charger for somebody else's phone. Like, yo, hook this shit up to Earth. Oh yeah, cool. You just got that shit running.
Oh yeah, cool.
You know what I'm saying? You know, where do we stand? Where, like, are we here on whatever is out there, or are we here that we think we are?
We're super here. First of all, super
what I'm
here.
saying?
But at that
So
point,
we super here.
At that
and
point,
where we walking is humongous, and you really probably couldn't go everywhere on this earth in one lifetime. Then
what is your effect on the space that you inhabit?
Like,
what is your effect on the space?
if the sky's too big, we can't look at the sky too long in our eyes, and we start fucking shit up and passing out and shit. Then what the fuck is up there?
Yeah,
that's holding this shit together.
We still don't know.
We can't look at the sun for 5 minutes.
Yes,
how can we look at them?
We still don't know
because they up there with it. Like, yeah, the sun ain't about shit.
We still don't know what's in the ocean, bro.
Yeah,
we literally still don't know what's in the ocean.
This is what I'm saying.
We don't know a lot.
Like, we don't.
So what's the end game? So what's this music? All these connections, religion, all these things that connect. What are they? What is it? Like, is it a certain pulse? Because music, when you feel good, it makes you feel good, or it makes you feel angry, it makes you feel sad.
Music is definitely a pulse.
It's an impulse that you feel. It's not just people rapping or singing or shouting.
Well, what's life without
the tone of their voice?
What's life without
over
a soundtrack?
Certain instruments at a certain time?
What's life without a soundtrack?
And it ignites you. So is that what's holding us together, or we die and we go up to a place of paradise, and then what? Do we get killed there? Can somebody kill us there and then is it another place? We don't know because nobody's been there and came back. Like, no, when you get up there, you can die too. Don't fuck up there because it's like 1.5 joint after that. And then after you go up there, you get killed. That's final.
He got to that final.
Don't let them catch you slipping in heaven.
You know what I'm saying?
But this is what happens when Sav says go deep.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I was
knew
going
you
to
say that.
because the human body is resilient. Somebody can 50 Cent can get shot 9 times and live. So what's the punishment? What's the resiliency when you go up there?
Now see that 9 times shit. I've always been a nigga that think I ain't got one in me. No, so
that's what I'm saying. So knowing that we are that strong, and to take the somebody's breath out their body and then they ascend to a higher place. What's figuratively what's the strength, what's the resiliency there, and then what's the limitations? Are there limitations? Because if you're sitting next to the creator, then what's your power like? Can you overthrow him?
Better not try.
Would you?
You don't know.
Would you?
But you don't know. You don't know till you get there. And you see how the system works. We know the system down here. We know if we go out there and kill somebody, we have to do it right. Are we going to jail forever, or the family of the deceased, or someone's going to kill us? We know that. We know that, but we don't know what's up there. We don't know if we got to go to work for God.
But your job down
are we a
here,
security guard? Whatever you was,
down
if you
not
up
a security
here,
guard in
you
heaven.
up there, or if you was a technician or engineer down here, do you make shit up there or? Like does your skill set ascend with you?
Hold up, Ness.
Hold up,
Ness. Because you said 1,000 things.
I did, but I'm saying
the way that they try to explain it to you is based on the good done here, the righteous done here, is what your house look like up there.
Okay.
And that's why the biggest joke is the priests don't have the biggest houses in heaven.
Oh shit! Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because like now that's what they now mind you, this is all speculation because we don't know. But I feel like as far as what's fair to concern yourself with,
right,
is the good and the righteous you could do in and around the space you travel. You see what I'm saying? That's where it comes to legacy shit. Where it comes to when you pass, people having more good to say than bad about you. And things like that. It comes to when my grandfather passed, we found out that there was kids he used to feed in the back of the barbershop, make them tuna fish or cans, and he never told nobody. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit lasts because that kid was 6 years old.
That's
and
the hardest
when
thing in
he
the
died
world.
at 78,
For when you
they
pass,
was still a young
people
person.
to speak of you highly. Like, yo, damn, man.
I tell people, I think my grandfather
That's
is Martin
like-
Luther
that's
King
more than
based
money.
on the stories I've heard that he's done
Almost.
for his people.
Because you could be rich as shit and die. Like, man, he was a piece of shit. Fuck him. He glad.
And most of them are.
But
When
you
they
gotta
die.
be poor as shit.
And
And
be
pass,
righteous.
he's like, yo, I love Mrs. Ethel, man. God damn.
Right.
Damn, damn, man, that was a good person.
That's how I live my life.
That's all you can control. You can't control after. You do it now
Right.
for the motherfuckers that help you be great. The situation that helped you be alive and moving in the shit.
That's what I'm saying. I just won't last. Because I'm a Scorpio. I just gotta ask questions.
And I dig it. I
won't last.
But nigga,
Like, I
we
won't-
go
if I-
get
if
far
it's a-
away from
if
this
there's a
and we
line
keep going down
and,
this wormhole.
and I get a questionnaire to get in, is it 9 times out of 10 I might not get in?
Yo,
Yo, that's funny as shit.
I can't with him. I can't with him.
That's funny as fuck.
You still
though.
got 1 out of 10.
Yo.
Nah, that's crazy though.
No, because I gotta know. How we know feeling good is not bad? Because it's selfish. You feel good about yourself. That's selfish.
But
that's
don't you-
bad.
but hold on.
So what
Hold on, though.
What the
Hold on,
fuck?
When you get some ass, you feel good about yourself.
Right.
When you feed somebody, it's a different feeling.
It is a different feeling.
It's a different feeling. And so it's levels. It's levels. You know what I mean? The accomplishment is based on something completely
Who's telling
different.
you when to be?
That's on you, but that adds or subtracts from what
See
they
what
gonna
I'm
say about
saying?
you when you gone.
See what I'm saying?
I done been with women that say, yo, you're a great friend. And I say, why you say that? They say, because you know what I mean? Niggas I be sitting next to that a lie and they homie needed something in case of emergency or some shit. Nigga
Right.
act like he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it just don't make sense to me. Like, I don't understand that. And I understand that that's a possibility. I could do that. But that wouldn't feel right to me because
Yeah.
this the same motherfucker I'm gonna call if I got a flat on the highway.
That's what I'm saying. And
You know what I'm
I try to use that to everything. Like I try not to be the way
My
'cause
bad,
people
Saf.
could
No, you're
people
good.
could be crooked. So I just try to musically or business wise, I try to remain genuine and
Yeah.
not let people's bad energy or whatever type shit they got going on that's combating or conflicting mine stop me from doing
It's
my
the same as
routine
being
and
in
how
the
I
streets.
do. Yeah.
It's the same as being in the streets. When you deal with a certain element in the streets, you don't want it to ruin you emotionally and personally when you go home.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta shake that shit off and let it be what it is. But no, what you came out to do was not to get over on nobody in that way.
Hell yeah, but we know we dealing with crooks, criminals, thieves,
It's
backstabbers.
evil in this world. But see, that's why everybody's not built for the same journey. Some people need the help. Some people are built to help. You've been in a position for a long time to help, even if that's just to give words.
Wisdom, experience.
You've never needed
Yeah.
you haven't needed $1 for the last 20 years to help somebody. You ever think about that?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a different position than 98% of the people you bump into
Right.
on some real shit. And that's the blessing in itself. But at the same time, the fact that you do think about these things and that you are aware of these things means that you're going to choose your steps accordingly.
Right.
Because you don't need answers to keep walking. Right?
Yeah, hell yeah. But then I think about the people who are careless and still survive and
takes
make
care
it to
of
the end of the
babies and
game
fools.
with me.
God
and I
takes
did all
care of
these
babies and
choices and all these variables and
But what's the story gonna be?
geometric equations, and they
But what's the
just
story going to be?
floated there like, I don't know. Pew. Oh, what was this? A piece of paper?
I know a nigga.
Bro, you almost got your hand blew off. Oh, I don't know. Shit.
I know a
over
nigga-
there. Yeah, stand over there. Meow, bus go past him.
I know a nigga 35 years old. Ever since he was 17, everybody's known him as Shiesty. He's still alive at
what I'm
35.
saying.
When he dies, he's going to
It's a
die as a
balance.
Shiesty nigga.
Right.
It's a balance.
He going to die with them stories.
It's a balance.
Like, he hasn't changed
anything.
anything.
It's like I know a lot of people that keep getting locked up. They're bad people. They're bad people. They hurt people. They're bad. Every time they get locked up, somehow they get out.
Right.
Now, these are my personal friends. And some people I just know through association.
Absolutely.
But in my mind, I'm like, God, everybody that knows this person, they know they're a bad person. How come they are getting back out here on the streets to hurt more people? It's just a natural ascension of that balance, man. That yin and that yang, that good, that evil, that bad. I mean, it's just got to be
Clearly.
out here. It got to be just as many demons as it is angels.
You know he's had this he's thought about this before when he can have the whole conversation by himself. This nigga just answered all his own questions.
When you get older, you become weird, and then you just
No, but that's
you
what
ask yourself shit and you answer it.
But you see what I'm talking about being introspective.
Like, did I leave my keys? I know the fuck I didn't leave my keys in the car.
I must be weird because I do that shit all the time.
You know what
I must be
I'm
weird.
saying?
I'm a weirdo.
No, but you have to because this is a form of accountability. You gotta figure certain shit out if you give a fuck about it to figure out what the hell you doing and how you gonna go about it. Like it all matters. It all matters. Even if you don't get the answer to every question, you're not supposed to have all the answers on earth. You know that, right? Like some of this shit is for whatever you believe in after this.
I don't know.
But at the same time, how do you feel about yourself when you wake up in the morning? How do your peoples look at you that you care about the most? How do your kids feel?
You know, it's always gonna be good days and it's gonna be bad days.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, we gotta navigate through the bullshit. And I think
life is based on
I just
ratio.
did a good job of dealing with a lot of ridicule and just a lot of bullshit and backlash that comes with this business and not being successful within that window that our community gives you. And I'm just being the testament of, you know what I mean, just never give up, man. Just
On
never
that
give
note,
up.
let's shout out Stiz.
Shout out Stiz at Battle Academy. Rick, I see you. I mean, Battle Academy Kev, doing big things. Boom, Still Been Rich. Merc, Frankie with the Grippers, myself, K Walker, you know, just the whole Battle Academy staff. We just gonna keep bigger and better.
Stiz see the vision.
Hell yeah.
Stiz is with whatever Ness is
You
trying.
know, we caught some flack in the beginning, but everybody be like, yo, when you get back on Smack? But then I look at it, like I've built the foundation to the Battle Academy.
Yep.
So they're looking at me now as a direct competition.
Nigga, you just battled Danny on that motherfucker.
Right, so
It went
I feel
crazy.
I
It
feel
went crazy.
is you know, the more that, you know what I mean, I just, you know, make these moves and just plant these seeds and watch and continue to watch them nourish, that people are going to feel my, you know, they're going to feel my presence more and more and more, to the point where, you know, it might be a whole resurgence, or it might just be that spark that gives me the opportunity to just maintain a certain life comfortability for the rest of my life.
Technical battle rap question. With all the URL battles dropping on apps, does that help the other leagues because they get the YouTube space?
Yeah, so
Or is it
it's
so
two parts to
many
that
other
question.
leagues?
The reason why, you know what I mean, the issues with Smack that I got is it's not personal. Over the years, it just become part of my character. And I can't go nowhere without them asking me. So it just becomes part of who I am.
Yeah.
It's like when the Joker, whatever he does, pulling out the card or the acid, that's one of my instruments.
You gambit.
Me talking about Smack. You know what I mean? So definitely with any of my battles, because the franchise Ness battle was on the Caffeine app.
Right.
Positive look. Good look. Great. So it's not nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
No.
Anytime they choose to you know, do business with Stiz, or Stiz allows them to put any of the battles that we have on the Battle Academy on that platform, that's only bigger and better in our company.
Absolutely.
And it's something they really don't have to do. And
Right.
they really hold the reins to prevent that.
Because that's their business.
That's their platform.
Absolutely.
So I don't have no.
But the effect as far
It's
as
just my act. It's part of my act.
no,
It's
and
part of my
that's
act.
why I didn't ask you that. I asked you as far as them not releasing on YouTube. Does that help for like Battle Academy views because the YouTube space is more open than it was before with them not dropping on YouTube?
Yeah, but it's a lot of limitations on YouTube now as far as the language is concerned.
For monetization
Yeah,
rules.
for monetization
Purposes.
rules. So that's why I guess they monetized it and kind of centralized it on their app to where they can kind of direct and dictate.
Is that in the
climate.
future for Battle Academy? Is that something that's
I
that
think
you
they're
can
working
speak to?
towards it. Right now, I'm basically head of you know, our public relations and just keeping the momentum up and keeping the blood curdling and keeping everybody, you know, drawn into what
you
we're
put
doing.
a lot of eyes on Battle
You know what I
Academy,
mean?
bro.
So, I mean, I laid some of the bricks that built the building. So that's kind of like my duties, my responsibility. But as time goes on, you know, executively, I'll have more input and involvement.
But whatever's the best for everybody involved is what's the next move.
Absolutely, John
regardless.
Belushi.
Right. No, I understand that. And that's why I said, I just want to ask you one technical because it's something that people have been talking about. Like a lot of people in the battle community, like for instance, Geechee with the Riot League.
Right.
He's saying stuff like, yeah, we about to take over YouTube then. Cause you know what I mean. And it's like I was wondering like how much does that rate? As as far as before
Battle
and
Academy
after.
doing joint ventures as far as events with other battle leagues such as Gotti or the Bullpen, or even my sister, Queen of the Ring with Babs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I encourage all this, and it's only going to propel the culture further, and it'd be a good look for all parties involved. And
these are conversations we have in podcasting, though.
yeah, hell yeah.
That's why we
I'm
cross
just
brand with
psyched
pods.
about
Right.
where it started to where it is now. And
But you was there the whole fucking time.
I know, and
bro.
it's the younger generation's job to try to denounce that or try to.
No, I want you here. I need you. I
know,
need
but
you to
it's
still be in it.
It's the youngest generation's job to denounce whatever came before him. And that wasn't the climate back when we was coming up. We always pay homage to the guys who left the door open.
I was about to
or kick the door off the hinges or whatever they did with the door.
He addressed one of
As
my
long
questions.
as long as we got in, we was always high-fiving, hugging, dapping up. But now it's totally reversed. It's like, fuck them old niggas.
Take that nigga off the fucking throne immediately. Because you got to run off on the plug now. It's different energy now, man. You got to run off on the plug twice. And then survive and make a song and tell the world about it.
You got to run off on a
These
plug.
motherfuckers is Rambo.
Is
It's
that
like-
any different?
It's like it's a snake, drug-induced, shiesty,
Energy. A cloud.
high-sexed,
Cloud.
fashionable, cool kids at the lunchroom table type of thingy going
Mean
on
girl
right now.
shit. Grown men
Yeah,
being mean
there you
girls.
go.
Wow.
It is.
No, it's very weird.
It is.
It's very weird.
It is. We
We grown, so we see like the difference in the shift. Like we
Right.
was there for just like he was there for the whole battle
Yes,
rap swing.
right.
We was there for this weird swing that our culture is taking.
But that's what I'm saying, and I be a little frustrated because, all these newer guys come in and they like, well, Ness, you whoop, 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 and I be like, well, who you think was doing it when y'all was like not doing it or trying to figure out what
to do.
what y'all were gonna do?
How about you just admit it before you ever
That's
thought
what
you
I-
could meet me that you
Right.
grew up watching me?
And I just don't understand.
Right.
It was never cool to me.
You could never say you didn't grow up watching Ness
To
or
not
Cass
know.
and you a battle rapper.
Right.
Something that you
absolutely.
were in. I don't like that.
No, that's stupid.
I don't like that.
That's stupid. Nobody does that. Athletes don't do that.
No.
I don't
Nobody does
like that.
No.
That's just it. Just goes against a lot of stuff that I don't. It's like coming in on the streets. Like if you're coming into a new crew, a new situation, you have to prove yourself. You can't go to the top. You have to
Just
have.
challenge the top nigga.
Yeah, you have to be tested. You have to be tested.
You gotta put work in
We have
to
to be
even
tested.
speak to me.
And it's like, this battle rap thing has always been dark skin against light skin, tall against short, old against young, and we gotta undo that, man.
That's what sells fights, though.
It does.
That's what sells fights.
It does. And then once you understand
what
that as
sells
a
fights.
business, you understand that you have to be a character.
Right.
And all these things come into play.
And
But answer
there's
this
only
question for
certain
me.
things you can take personal in it.
But answer this question for me, because I just remember when I just asked Caution. We just had shout out to my sister, Lady Caution 215.
Shout out to Caution.
She
We just
shouted
had
you
her.
out, too.
She absolutely did.
She said you look out for her in the city. You wanted people that is always positive with her.
Absolutely.
So I was asking her about that in regards to when you come to battling somebody, like the professional aspect of it versus taking shots personal. So I was kind of asking about that. So I know you're saying it's the young bulls versus the old heads. It's the license, you know what I mean?
right.
So I just think it's interesting because her response was kind of like that she kind of like just leave it where it's at. Like it's just the battle. But to me, it seemed like from the male's perspective, it seemed like men are handling it a little bit different.
It's a cutthroat business. It's exciting at the same time, and a lot of these barriers have been broken. People are talking about all types of taboo things, and people are talking about people's children and Queen of the Ring. People be talking about people's rent not being paid, and
That's why them
who
chicks be
got
fighting.
STDs. And I think it's a no holds barred, batteries included, if you get what I'm saying. Type
What's
of
your
thing.
limits then?
It's like you can talk about it, but we don't want to see you if you don't talk about it.
So what's your limits? How far are you willing to go? Cause see, you also a different kind of battle rapper. I had this conversation with
I
you
am.
when I'm like, it's hard as
And I'm
hell. The nigga that's going
And I'm gonna
joke,
keep it being.
shoot you, and do the hula hoop.
I do have that killer instinct, but that's not my first
Goes-
objective. My first objective is to entertain. I was born in the late 70s.
You ever
so when I came up, I came up going to concerts that was really shows. When I left, I said I really had a good time.
I seen MC Hammer
that
live.
was a good show.
Yeah.
So that I that stayed with me all these years. So my first anything
is the performance first. Right. And we can see that. That comes across.
I was about to say, it definitely comes across.
But have you ever said a line that you said, I went too far? You don't have to say what it was, but have you ever, like, one time, was that...
Not in a battle rap. I probably said some stuff in some interviews that probably wasn't...
Okay, but not in the battle.
But not
nothing that you rehearse, go over, figure it out. You probably weed that shit out ahead of time.
But that's battle rap. It's like, we agreed now you wouldn't say that. So it's like the countdown, is he going to say that? You know what I mean?
Now, am I wrong for...
That's what it is.
Am I wrong for saying that you had your Loso rounds 3 days after you had the battle book?
I
feel like...
No.
I feel like by the time y'all announced it, you was spitting them things.
Well, not to let the cat out the bag, but we know a lot of information before the general public. So we already prepared to be prepared.
You was prepared for that one. How did that feel?
Because
you was ready. I know you had 5 rounds.
It was frustrating. So my whole plan going to the Danny thing, I know everybody will be listening to my rounds, saying that if I recycle
to see if you used anything that you ain't let go yet.
So that really put a lot of pressure on what I was doing, to switch the gears and go straight into a whole nother thought process for a whole nother person.
Do you lose the other rounds, or do you still remember them?
They still there. They still there.
I think everybody's different with that aspect.
They still there. Some of the material gets used throughout whatever I'm doing. I know how to cater it.
But you specifically made sure that it wasn't going to show up.
My last 3 battles has been tailor-made to all of my opponents. So I was kind of frustrated that I had to just stop, one thought process and go totally into another thought process. But I was well compensated, so I didn't mind. And
say that
part. I feel as though, as long as you got the goods, man, and as long as you have the skill set, and as long as you have the tenacity and the energy and the spirit to do it, then age shouldn't be a limitation.
I don't think age is. I think at any age you can run in the writer's block, though.
But you've been in all my battles. The first angles be I'm old, my hip not
but
working.
You know that's coming.
Hip replacement, hair not growing. Grow that.
Ain't that doing you a favor,
this
though?
Is falling
and
off.
I mean, they can hit with some of them Jones, but you know it's coming.
You about to check. Goddamn, what's up?
Do you do pre-buttles?
Here's your game.
Do you do pre-buttles, knowing that you know what people are going to say?
Yeah, from being in an
you just got shit in
so
the tuck.
long. Yeah, it's just yeah. I may have something, and then I store it, and then depending on the opponent
situation,
I might bring it out. Yeah, because I know it's like a chess game. I know he gonna move the bishop, and then he gonna move the rook. So I'm like, all right, I know how he is. He like to move the bishop and move the rook. So let me take what I had stored just in case he want to move that bishop and move that rook.
So you play chess?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You ever play Voc?
I ain't played Voc.
Voc's serious about that chess
he's serious.
shit.
He beat Wise a couple times. They went back and forth.
You played Wise?
I ain't played Wise either.
Oh, okay.
I have an addictive personality. I'm going to tell you why.
I do too.
I have an addictive personality. Now, if I start playing chess, now that's all I want to do.
8 hours straight?
Yeah, play chess. Now, then
like poker night?
No, play again. No, play again. No, play again.
Right.
Dog, it's 2:00 in the morning. No, play again.
Even if you up all of them?
Regardless of winning or losing?
That's what I said. Even if you up?
That's Ness phone.
Especially if I'm losing.
Yeah. Especially if you losing. But if you
win.
If you winning, you still do that too, though?
New video game. I'm stuck. 12 hours. Nothing. Nothing.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, please. Leave me alone. You can see what I'm doing.
But all of this stuff lines up, though. It's all equal.
If I go to a place where it has good seafood,
I'm
going to go to that place 3 days straight until it's like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I have an addictive personality, so I got to be careful.
To the point of burning shit out?
Y'all burns it out.
Don't burn that out no more, man.
Like, if I go to a deli and they got the sandwich, sometimes you go to these Italian delicatessens and they got the meat hanging out the sandwich. Pause.
Word.
You be like, God damn, why? Yo, I got to go there. So I'll go there 5 days. And so I'll be like, here, you want this shit, man?
I'm about to say, wifey got to be like, yo.
That's why I can't drink, because drinking has a cutoff point.
Right.
You get sick.
Yeah.
And you can't do it back then. You regret. You better not do this.
This is an amazing reason not to drink. I have never heard a nigga say, it's a cutoff for drinking. You get sick.
Right.
It's like,
I love it.
come on, bruh. As much as you can handle. As much
Till
as
you
you
go
can
to
handle.
sleep.
As much as
Right.
you can handle.
Just go
as
sleep.
much as you can handle. You'll wake up to another L. Like, yo, you sleep.
I used to wake up in the middle of the
Oh,
night.
all right.
I used to smoke a L overnight. Every time I used to wake up in the night, I used to light it back up, hit it a couple times, put it back up.
That's why alcoholics to me,
I
they
can't
are
do
the
it. You know, I gotta smoke a
strongest
whole
people
joint.
in the world because they actually like being fried and sick. I don't get it. Who wants to be like, head spinning, can't close your eyes?
You ever seen me like that?
No.
That's why I do it.
Definitely.
That's why I do it.
Always sturdy. You always attentive. I never see you. Which way did he go, George?
I
Which
be
way
out of
did he
my
go?
mind sometimes, bro.
Hold up, I got a question though, because I done peep game a little bit. Are you a Bulls fan? Because you wear bullshit a lot.
Yeah, I was born in the late 70s. Who wasn't born then?
I just
Right,
see
so
him.
not
I just see him address this recently.
Okay.
I gotta understand my era. It's
Yeah.
certain things
I
I'm
get
just
it.
gonna love.
I get it. I'm glad that you think I'm a lot younger than you.
Transformers, Autobots, G.I. Joe,
Tell 'em my
Ninja
favorite
Turtles. Just certain things.
You sound like Currency.
Am I lying?
No, you
It's
right.
just certain things that when I was doing my thing,
That's what was popping.
Hey,
was
bro,
lit.
guess what one of my favorite sayings? I say it on this pod almost every joint,
What?
and knowing is half the battle.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say, I get you.
That's a cliche from the 80s that's just gonna never go away.
Exactly.
Mine is know your place in the struggle, and then she followed. So our mantras actually match.
When people like, you dress like you from, yeah, like this is what I know.
I don't want to see nothing no skinnies, like no super skinny Jones, cause there's not a good
Motherfuckers
look.
be mad when I be wearing my Marvel shit. Like that's a expression of who I am.
Yeah.
I grew up in that time where I had to save my money up to go get comic books and read them and be like go somewhere and hide and read them Jones and like damn this. And when the cards came, I used to trade them with the baseball cards. We used to play pity pat for them. Like I'm in that world. And niggas don't know, so they be like, "Why you dressed like a kid?" No, I love this shit. This is what I grew up. When I was a young, this was the shit,
Right.
the ultimate shit. You couldn't go nowhere and not see it.
Yeah.
That's why people like Batman and Spider-Man, they more famous than rappers, and they're always gonna
But
be
you
famous
know-
to the end of time.
but you know what?
My kids know who Batman was. Batman was
provides-
created in 1960.
That provides comfort for you, and a lot of people don't know what makes them comfortable. Like I mean, mentally, like those times, what you say, that was the shit. That's what everybody.
what I'm saying.
So when you still have it, that does something for you. Looking at that,
Exactly.
you see what I'm saying? You're doing something
This is
mentally
what I
for
wanna
yourself
be. I
that
wanna
people
be
aren't
this,
doing for
this
themselves.
memorable. The shit that
But
I got
mind you,
on,
if a nigga tuck his trench coat into his belt and you see his fake ass belt, that does something for him too.
right, it
While he hating on your Marvel shirt with his trench coat tucked in his fucking belt, he doing something for him too.
right.
But
So
he
it's-
also
it's-
has a different
yeah.
caliber of people that's gonna talk to him in a bar.
But it's an extension of my personality. I like Greek mythology. I like gods and titans and Odysseus and all that. I like reading those things. I was a fan of that
Because
in
you can
high
never
school.
stop reading that shit, and you're
Right.
fucking obsessive.
And Marvel and all these characters are
An extension of kind of
extension
sort
of
of.
that.
Connection that y'all got. What high school you went to? Ness?
Central.
Me too.
Who you was at Central with? That they was.
Cassidy and DJ Drama.
You was there with Cass. I was in Cass' class. We was in the same class.
That was what I was about.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you don't even dig it.
Right,
Y'all
yes.
was there the same time.
Yep.
Like
You see what I'm
walking
saying?
through the halls
Yep.
at the same time.
Yeah, it wasn't to like do
Right.
that, but it was like, no, y'all the same motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
And you was telling me about
254.
that
259.
time in them hallways. We had that conversation recent when you was talking about that
Yeah,
shit.
right.
And I was like, yo, I know everybody that was there. I was at E&S. You know what I mean? I was down the street.
Okay.
I was at E&S when Lynn was there and all of that type shit. Lynn senior year was my freshman
Yeah, I was
year.
there when Bill Cosby came in that year and walked the halls.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You was there?
No, I wasn't there that year, but he came to when I was there.
When you was there
Yep.
too?
Came in my classroom. I was psyched. I was like, he ain't gonna come to my class. I ain't that lucky. Come right through. Came right in and all that. I'm like, man, this Bill. You know what I'm saying? That's my childhood. You
Yeah.
You see what you just did
That's
there,
my
though?
childhood watching the Cosby Show
Yes.
faithfully.
Absolutely.
Rudy and singing
This is
James
the-
Brown
Yes,
songs
yes,
and all
yes.
This
that.
is the
Like,
same effect that Ness has on people when they see him.
They do.
other places, not in Philly.
I mean, but still, like you got to think about like that's a fucking nigga, man. Just
It's always gonna be more love outside of your city
Yeah.
because people see you every day, so it's like you regular,
I perform like you perform. When I go to Brooklyn,
right?
I get a better reception than uptown Philly, where I'm from.
And that's It's sad. It's sad.
Do y'all think it's a Philly thing, or do you think that that's
It's an everywhere
human
thing.
That's what
If
I
you
was about
from
to say.
Brooklyn, you'll be like, I hate Brooklyn,
shit
man.
that's
I
right
just
in front of
hate.
you.
Yeah.
You like Philly? They show
But
so much love.
we are one of the
That's how
roughest.
Philly
We
is.
are one of the
always-
roughest, though.
Somewhere will always accept somebody from somewhere else because they from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, where you from? I ain't from around here. Well, damn, where you from? I'm from Acapulco. Oh, all right, yo, you wave yo Acapulco. Acapulco.
Right.
They don't even call you your name. Yo, that's Acapulco over there.
No bullshit.
Am I lying?
If we move anywhere, your name is Philly.
I was about to say, whenever I go on
your name is
vacation,
fucking Philly.
whenever I go away, people
Your
call you
name
Philly.
is
Hey,
Philly,
Philly. Yo, Philly.
And they love to say, like, I went to
Everybody loves Philly.
what's them Jones called? The wine festival. I went to a wine
They
festival.
gravitate toward us,
and we
don't
in
they?
Maryland, right? And I'm all the way unprepared because I'm just out there for the weekend.
Right.
I don't know what to expect. I didn't know we was going to this motherfucker. People got tents and coolers and all type of cool setups, TVs and shit. You know what I mean?
They gravitate
And
toward
it's
us.
hot as shit. All I hear when I figure out that we done fucked up is Philly. We was just under everybody else's tents.
Right.
They had food. Motherfuckers had wings and fruit and shit.
Yeah.
Like, we was, you know what I mean?
It
But
was
it was
like-
just Philly. They didn't even, Philly.
But to answer your question, you gotta understand. When I grew up, all it was Michael Jordan. He was like, he was like our Batman in real life.
How often
and then
do
it
you
was
buy
AI.
Jordan?
AI is like when I got on, and then me and AI was friends.
I'm about to say you good
'Cause
with
I was
AI, though.
on, yeah, like so it was like I got to relive it over again through AI. Like I was young when the guy was out, but now this is the guy, and I'm
right
like,
here.
Right here with him. Y'all was lit at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Not to say you not lit now, but I mean,
No, I know
like,
what you're talking about. I
Your
know what you're talking
ascension
about.
was his ascension.
Right.
It would coincide. But that's ill though.
And we
You know what I
both
mean?
crashed and burned almost like the same way too.
Nigga, you ain't burned and neither did he.
Right.
We not doing that, man. We not doing that on here.
When we say that, we
I know what you mean, humbly,
yeah.
but respectfully,
Respectfully.
I'm
all
gonna
the
argue
way
that.
respectfully.
I'm gonna argue that because I understand the impact.
Because
Right.
And I mean, like, dig this. We good, right?
right.
I seen you around those times. We was around each other during them times. We wasn't this close at that time.
Right.
I was on the outside, still could see the man in person, and I respected the whole journey of what I seen Ness do. The whole thing. Because I know shit come with this game. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody that understands that part of it. I'm somebody that understands that it's levels to everything, and resilience is a motherfucker.
Now all we
Like,
need
because
is,
everybody can't get their ass whooped
That's
and
what
get
I'm
back in
saying.
the fucking ring.
now all we need is 10 million to use that buy albums.
But see, the thing is, give them a T-shirt. You'll get 500,000 to buy that.
Right.
Give them a motherfucking single. Like, just keep giving them shit.
It's way different.
Just
now.
keep giving them shit. Because
They-
at the
they'll
end of the
they'll buy a
day,
keychain and a coffee mug.
if you say limited on the post, they
Yeah.
gonna make sure they get that one of fucking 100.
They'll buy a hat that you wore.
Yep.
Like, yo, let me get that jewel.
No, real shit. You could sell your old battle rap lays, or you could put them in the museum. It's getting to that point. You understand? We getting hip hop museums now.
Right.
We ain't gotta go to the rock and roll joint. We got a trap museum. We ain't gotta go to. You know what I mean? Like,
the African American music.
we got the
Museum.
African American Music Museum.
Yeah, that's big.
Like, bro, you a legacy already, and you still building on it. That's an accomplishment like a
itself.
motherfucker.
Absolutely.
But you got bigger shit ahead of you because you know what you need to do.
Right. So we got this 2-2 going down.
Talk
June
about it.
26. Ness and Kaboom.
Mhm.
Necessary caskets. We officially called
That's what it is. Necessary caskets.
caskets.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all getting shirts?
Absolutely.
I need a large. I'll pay for it.
Got you. Don't gotta pay for it, Lou. You my guy.
I need a large, bro.
So,
No, that's
yeah,
heavy.
Man, it's going down. Bad Academy. We're gonna keep the momentum rolling, but I don't want to get, like I said, I got an addictive personality, and I'm thankful that Stiz got me working so frequently that he does, and because I just like performing and like having a good time, man.
How you feel about Boom's comeback?
Absolutely, John Belushi. I love it.
I feel like we ain't seen people
I
come
love
back
it.
in that kind of shape.
I love it.
Mentally,
I love it.
bar
Well, I think I
wise.
got him as a partner. Not only be he one of my good friends,
Mm-hmm.
I love what he brings to the table, and I love his resiliency also.
And I like his energy.
Yeah.
I'm digging his energy
So
since
it's
he
like
been
to
home.
the point where we gotta stop doing these Philly against Philly niggas, and we gotta start
Right.
doing.
You've
more
been preaching that.
2-on-2s.
You've been saying that. So the 2-on-2 was against who?
Cuban and Ryder.
Oh, all right. So y'all going against
Both
Goonies.
they both from the DMV area,
Yeah,
so Maryland.
quote unquote Goonies.
Goonies. Yeah, Goonies broke up though.
But they just said on Angry Fan that they ain't really break up. They just dropped the title and been doing the same shit. So that's why I said quote unquote.
Fly. Me and Boom got some spectacular shit.
I'm gonna tell you, like I told Caution though, like I always fucked with battle rap. I grew up in Philly, so you know at some point I had to battle too by 12 years old.
Factual.
Because that's what we go through.
Factual.
But when it became a thing for the world, I've always been tapping in, but I've never been as involved as since I started making sure I click on everything Caution and Ness. And you know what I mean? When Vac was, it got his thing
Caution
going.
definitely put in work. She had
You know
some
what I mean?
Battle Academy appearances. Definitely some Queen in the Ring appearances.
But I learned a lot just through watching y'all.
Definitely been, definitely holding down on the Philly circuit for a long
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely.
As well as Lady Zan.
Zan, shout out to Zan.
So
Really.
it's like, you know what I mean? The females got to say in this shit too, man.
I've been liking what the females been doing in battle rap lately. The opportunities that they've been taking advantage of. Because it's like, there's new things on the table for them now, and they've been killing shit.
I don't be vocal on a lot of things as far as endorsing people, and I'm gonna stop being like that because people just always have something to say about something.
Fuck them.
And that shit just, I be hating that shit.
Fuck that.
And I don't be liking to be around that shit.
Fuck
Right.
it.
You know what I mean?
They're my 3 favorite terms. Fuck them, fuck that, fuck it.
You know what
Real
I mean?
shit.
Like, you gonna like who you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've been seeing a lot of good shit, and once again, shout out to Battle Rap for getting me through the damn demic, because the soap opera never stops on that side. God damn it, there's always something to tune into, and the battles have been coming more frequently. So like I've had entertainment through y'all more than ever this last year and a half. Real shit. So what's the immediate next move for Ness? We got a movie. What we doing?
We dropping this EP, man. Lou Phil and Friends, man. I got Method Man on it, Benny the Butcher, Beanie Siegel, Petey Crack, Vado, Corey Guns, Kid. It's like a who's who. Spitters. And we're just gonna keep that momentum going. And you know, I've been hacked out of my verified Instagram page for like almost 3 months now. So anybody that was following the 215 Enes page, still follow it, but you can follow me in my adventures over on my new page, my backup page, which is Enes_215. So for all those that's been following me in my freestyle series on Instagram, let me borrow this beat. I'm definitely over on a new page, definitely catching in rec, definitely new visuals, new content daily, pics and what have you, and email is still attached to the to the backup account, ness215@gmail.com. And like I said, you can follow me on my new page, Enes_215 on Instagram. Still on Twitter, 215 Enes, and I'm on Facebook, Enes Mathis.
My God, man. I wasn't rapping you though. I was just asking you a question, but
I had to put that out there because
that verified page got fucked up.
My staff and my team, they be telling me that, you know, you gotta let people redirect their traffic.
Yeah.
And I want to be more vocal about that because, you know, I got 3,000 followers within the time that I started the page, which is a good, you know, that's a good sign that people still, you know what I mean?
They catching up.
Yeah, they're catching up, but, you know, I want make the awareness be a little bit more.
What's the process with Instagram to get
So
you
that's
your
what I was gonna
page
say. Listen,
back?
I was just on the phone with a public figure, a friend of mine, who she was hacked out of hers for 2 months and 2 days, but she had somebody to get into it. So if you need somebody to get in to do that work for you to try to get your page back, I got a resource for you.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna tap right in.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, because I've seen that's affected you because you're not getting your message to the same amount of people as you was before.
Right.
And then there's people that's on that side that's like, yo, Ness ain't doing shit because
Right.
they ain't hip to the fact that it's compromised.
Right.
Right. I dig it. I'm for it. So make sure, like he said, what is it one more time? Enes_215?
Yes.
Yep. Because I was looking for you to tap in about this, and I looked up Loch Ness.
Right. right.
And I'm like, damn it. So I had to go.
I got another page that got like 5,000 Jones. So I got King of Battle Rap and shit. And I found out.
I'm on that page
you
too.
know what I mean? I was trying to find out who was, you know what I mean?
Right.
Running that page. And you could just to coincide with all the other pages to content, you know? And it was a hard time. And I finally got to the bottom of, you know, who was conducting that page. And so I'm just trying to make the it's a good thing that the page is still up there. I try to report it, you know. I had some bad days where I just report the page. Yo, take this Joan down.
Right.
But being how, you know, big of a company Instagram as they notify me back, like, we see nothing wrong with this account.
Oh shit.
Leave us alone. You want us to block them for you from this page?
Right.
Like,
you want to not
that's
see.
me.
You want to not see your shit.
That's crazy.
We gonna make sure you don't see your shit no more.
But it has definitely slowed down a lot of things that was in the work. A lot of quote unquote celebrities that I was politicking with, making some moves behind the scene. That's kind of, put a dampen on that. So, man, whoever's out there listening or watching the podcast or streaming this podcast, listen, you done fucked up you done interfered with a lot of, real good business, a lot of hard work. So I would appreciate it if, you emailed me, because you definitely have the email number, because you took the email number off the page.
Right.
So email address off the page. So get with us, man.
They really hate you.
We can figure something out, man. And it's just bad timing all around. So hopefully I'll get it back. And my sister over here to the left will help me out and be instrumental of me getting it back. And I'll be back to my regular self on my regular page, rocking and rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna try our best to try to figure that out, because it baffles me, and I know why people do it. I know what you get from it. It's the same reason people buy people's name on domains before they even be able to get their website
It's
up.
useless, because as soon as you put up content that not of what's been on the page, or you try to put or took down the name, you lose the blue check and the verification and all that. So you just got a page just to be having a page.
Just to try to DM some people that I fuck with?
Yeah, and that's dangerous too, because he could be taking money, against my name and shit for features and all types of shit.
And that's what
dangerous.
I thought about when you was like, your folks is telling you to make sure you get it out there. I'm like, no, that's super important when it comes to that kind of shit.
I don't want to go to Cleveland and niggas trying to clump me on my head because they didn't.
You ain't do a feature. Right. Nigga done gave you $1,500. You ain't never did your feature.
Right.
And you like, nigga, I was
I
was at the studio just smoking weed. I done did your feature for the $1,500.
Right.
Nigga. Damn, like, it wasn't about shit. I was up there kicking it with such and such.
So all of you celebrities or social media motivational speakers, anybody with any type of public recognition, be wary of these Autobot schemes or these scams or these hackers that try to slide in your DMs portraying themselves as Instagram agents or representatives from Instagram, because they're not. If Instagram had a problem with your page, anything as far as copyright infringement, anything, they would email you.
Yes.
So
that's important.
I just made the mistake and not knowing what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I do, I'm just trying to prevent anybody else from having the same problem.
No, that's important information that he just said, because that is what it is.
Am I lying?
No, that is what it is. They really, it's like anybody that's violating you. Like back in the day, they used to knock on your door and act like they was PGW.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same shit online. They acting like they somebody legit that you would figure to trust, and you're not doing the research to make sure that they're accredited the way they're supposed to be to enter that space. So that's what it comes down to. That's real shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. No, I just was making that next connection right now, just trying to get the information for him.
She over there sending the message down.
I appreciate that.
Because that's important. I just had that conversation yesterday.
Building my page up. I had my page since 2000, almost 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
This is 8 years building this page up. I'm almost reaching 100. I'm not there yet, but I was almost.
You was up there.
I was a quarter away from 100,000. Building a page and getting the verification. A lot of things happened over the last 18 months, and it really page grew. All my impressions and stuff, and once those impressions grow, and your algorithm starts to build,
them dollars start coming,
income,
motherfuckers start hollering at you.
There you go. That's why I like talking to intelligent people.
No, but that's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Right?
That's what it's about, and that's why people do the things that they do online, and you don't even realize that it don't make sense to you, because they worried about impressions. Exactly. Positive or negative, it counts. Exactly. You can say fuck me 5,000 times. I got 5,000 impressions from you, and they not worried about what it said.
More love from getting knocked out than knocking someone out. Maybe.
That's crazy.
Because you're getting the sympathy and you're getting the.
You're human again.
Yeah.
You're human again, man.
Relatable.
And that's bad.
Yeah.
Because it used to be reversed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the
something
mindset.
Bad happened to you, you just done. Now it was like repairable. Like,
that's
no,
true.
that was corny how they did him.
That's true.
I don't respect that.
That's true.
I don't know if that's bad. I'm trying to make a on the spot decision on if that's bad or not.
I'm saying it's true of how it doesn't.
No, it has shifted.
Yeah,
it has shifted. But like we said, the mentality across the board has shifted.
Yeah,
has shifted.
I've seen people get knocked out and their career propel.
Yep.
And I've seen people hit people and then people cancel them.
Yeah.
Shit, we seen
you know what I'm saying?
we seen Floyd never get hit and motherfuckers was mad at him.
Right.
Motherfuckers pissed at Floyd because he don't let niggas punch
And
on
they
him.
be mad at him if he lose. Come on, man. You was holding that together. You wasn't supposed to let them get that.
Like, come on, yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was like, I want to go to see Floyd win, but I want to come
want
this
him to
close to losing
Right.
and then win.
Yeah.
And
his ass whooped and win.
and that's fine. But he's supposed
They
to
want a
make.
show.
He's supposed to consciously make that happen. Is the problem?
Yeah.
Like niggas act like he supposed to go to the ring and give a nigga an opportunity
They
to
act
knock
like
him
it's
out.
wrestling and it's scripted. Like
Let me get you a little closer to knocking me out before I do my thing. No,
Boxing
nigga,
fans that say Floyd
it's boring
boring are not boxing fans.
because that's boxing.
That's boxing.
That's fucking boxing. Literally.
It's just like somebody watching the NBA finals or watching the playoffs saying, why doesn't Embiid or whoever just run down the court, run past everybody and dunk on the whole team until you get on the court and
it doesn't work that
you
way.
running
Right.
back and forth with them.
right.
And you like, yeah, this ain't the thing. The thing I was thinking. But it's just like, it's like simple shit like, how come when it's under 2 minutes they foul? Nigga, how else we gonna stop the clock?
But also just
Like, it's just part of the game.
part of the game.
It's
But
part of
just
the
like what
game.
y'all
Why they
Really?
holding the ball? Why ain't it's only 2 minutes? Why they go up to the joint and shoot it?
But guess what? We said this in the
No,
beginning.
because if they miss, is the chance that they can win
Take
the
the ball-
game.
exactly. I understand.
And
that.
it's big dollars on wins and losses in that level.
Yo, I just forgot.
Even when you a kid, sadly, it's a lot on the line on that win and that loss.
Like we up 3. This whole game be different. I'm talking football now. This whole game been defensively. So the score is 3. We got the ball with seconds left. Why are we throwing it? That's just bad coaching. That's not going to reflect the players.
You know they got to go.
I would be a horrible football
It's
coach.
going to reflect the coaching.
Because, you know, anytime it's anything in inches, I'm going for it. I don't give a fuck if it.
So I'm going back to.
guess what
I made that analogy to say with
Yeah.
what the Seahawks did in the Super Bowl. They threw it.
Why not just get a
See
ball
what
to
I'm
this
saying?
nigga and let him
You see
open
what I'm
this
saying? And those are the things.
motherfucker up?
Those are the decisions that go down in history. And you got to be one of those purposes to make less of those bad decisions.
Come
But
through
that's
the
a
clutch.
perfect example of something we talked about earlier though, because you know what happens? Everybody that knows what's right is looking like, yo, why the fuck they ain't give him? So that doesn't tarnish his legacy.
It doesn't.
It fucked the team's legacy.
Right.
Yes.
Because everybody that knew this what he do is like, why you ain't let him
Just
do
do
what
it.
he do?
And they was looking for somebody to pin it on. They was more mad at Marshawn for not running it than
Than
the
the
actual person
they
who called
called
the
it.
play.
Called the play. But his, but
How
his,
does that happen? Bro, you know you was supposed to run. Bro, do I look like Russell fucking
hold up.
Wilson?
What motherfucker, what offensive player turns down an opportunity at a touchdown? At a
Right.
possible touchdown?
Right.
Name one.
Nah.
My fucking the nigga that
That's the
hikes
one to
me
be
the
offense.
ball will take a touchdown if he could.
But
Me,
isn't that
I'm
the purpose
real.
of being
I'm
offense?
like, no, get that shit to Marshawn. Fuck that. Fuck the touchdown. Fuck all the glory that come with this. Marshawn now.
But I've also had 20 in the
Niggas
first.
like, well, you're going to be benched.
But I've had 20 in the first half and got froze out the whole second half.
Right.
And I've also had a nigga tell me, bro, you had enough points. Like, you was good. Like that type shit where me as a scorer, if
I
you
want
got the
my
high
45.
hand, no, if you got the high hand, I'm still giving you the ball,
That's what I'm
even
saying.
though it'll jeopardize my average.
Busy.
But if you're getting busy, I get other points because you take a lot of the tension off of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? You give me more options. I know how to move around what's popping. So it's like motherfuckers had that mentality of you got enough. You done enough.
Facts.
And it's like I done enough, nigga. This is what's working.
I try to
You trying to whoop that Joe, huh?
I try to
You
highlight
try
my
to whoop that
weaknesses.
You don't
fucking
understand,
with you.
man.
I try to
No,
highlight
it'd
my
be different.
strengths and hide my weaknesses.
It'd be different. Like when you in a position, like I'm somebody in basketball. I was a second half player.
Okay.
I passed the whole first half. Second half, you liable to not see that motherfucker come back.
Right.
But I average what I average. I was
Right.
always good with I wanted to play when it counted. You know what I mean? But if I start off hot, don't stop giving me that motherfucker.
right.
Do
you
not
know?
stop feeding me the
What
pill.
is the point? Let me run cold.
Yeah.
Do not stop feeding
Let me
the
run
pill.
cold. I've
get
been
that.
hurt. I hurt both my wrists one time. Didn't want to shoot the foul shots. Begged this nigga to take me out after my foul shots. 2 minutes later, he looked at me and said, go back in the game. I'm like, Jello. He like, nigga, you hot. You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter. Like, give me the fucking rock, man. So, but you have people that just live life like that. Like, I was always taught that you play sports how you live life. You can tell a lot about how a person is in life by how they play their sport. Because certain things, personality-wise, just come out about people, man.
Right.
Especially, in team sports, I'm speaking of. In team sports.
Right.
Yeah, because you got to be selfish in a solo sport. But you have to always account for other people when you on a team. So you learn a lot about people, how they play sports. And when you coach your kids, that's why you shouldn't coach them to be selfish. Because if he nice, he going to get 30. And if he get 12, it's not that bad a fucking deal. He'll be all right. Ness, you still with us?
Yeah, no, I just had to send deposit. Got the deposit.
I hear that.
Battle.
No.
Confirm.
No, get right.
Confirm. They sent that little Ishka Bibli.
I heard that. Yo.
That's right.
Only pose for the money.
No, but that's why I fuck with Ness. Because Ness literally, he could have just showed me a name. The nigga showed me the number. He zoomed in on it.
I saw that.
I fuck with Ness,
I
man.
saw that. But yo, what I was about to
And
say
that
also,
stays here.
Right.
But I appreciate you for being who you are.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
But I saw that. That's something about you too. You actually speaking about the time that you grew up and presenting the show. No matter when you perform, you always bring the show. I got a video. I was just showing my family. I was literally showing my nieces your video 2 days ago when we was in glocawear. And you was putting on the show. It was our show, Fly Girl Radio. We was on the show.
Yo, you tore that shit up.
You tore
played
that
all
shit
the new music
up.
You went crazy in there.
Good time.
I'm glad you
You went
did.
crazy
We had a
in
good
there,
time
bro.
with you there. We
No,
had a
they
good
was
time.
excited about it, bro.
We were, but I'm still
you started.
showing.
You set it off. You set the vibe that day.
See, those days that I live for, when I feel like that, I don't give a fuck where I'm at.
Cause nothing matters. We just having it.
Yeah, I'm just having fun.
Just
I'm around
having
good
it.
people. I feel the vibe. I recorded some new music. I'm excited.
Shout out to my fly girls for
Yeah,
providing
shout
that
out.
energy.
Yeah, shout
for
out to
my
the
fans
fly
so
girls.
comfortable.
Shout out to my sis.
And the Fly Boys. You already
Chick
know.
with the Juice Pauling
Chick
gang.
with Juice Pauly, baby.
You know, my girl Fine Productions be in that
Fine
joint too.
Productions.
No, real shit. Like, but that's part of the joy of my job. Like, as much as I'm an artist, that's the part of like I've been to all the stations too as an artist.
Right.
So when I'm able to provide a comfortable environment for artists or entrepreneurs or whatever have you, and a lot of times don't do interviews, never done one. It might be their first pup, all the way down to somebody like Rampage that a million of them and say you
Right.
never had that much fun before.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like I'm happy to provide that because I don't want to interrogate you. I don't want to make you feel
Right.
like this nigga's just gonna ask me the same dumb shit. I don't want that because I don't like answering the same dumb shit.
Right.
I don't want every interview a nigga to tell me, so what's your top 5, who inspired you, and what age did you start rapping? And that feels like 90% of the interviews that you go into, even if you are somebody that's known.
That's just the standard. That's just the standard.
It's like, don't just give me that. Give me some personality. Let's have some fun.
No, factual.
Let's enjoy each other.
Factual.
Let's talk about what is enough. Where does it stop? Like, let's go there.
Right, that part.
Just because we can.
Go deep.
Who the fuck controls
Talk.
this? I don't have a commercial break I have to look forward to.
Right.
We could go there. You know what I mean? And that's what I get the enjoyment of what I do from. Because I know that I can provide that for people where I needed that provided for me at one point. You see what I'm saying? And I've never been shy about being on a mic on camera. But there's certain rooms and certain buildings you walk in. You ever been somewhere they tell you can smoke? And then you start smoking, and then everybody in the building be like, who the fuck is up here?
Absolutely.
Like, you the first nigga that ever smoked in there?
I had
Now you don't want to smoke your
I
shit.
had that bitch from off the View cussed me the fuck out over smoking weed. The bitch Nanda, she cussed me the fuck out one time. I was frustrated as shit because I'm usually sharp with the tongue.
Yeah.
But it was stuck.
Yeah, I was stuck. She's like, why you smoking Ness? Why you out here smoking weed? You know you can't be smoking weed. She cussed me. She cut right into me. Made me feel like
A fucking child.
yeah, I'm like, oh. As I'm putting it out. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
we still where we at.
yeah, so it's like, it's just the way you deliver it.
That's one of the
I
things that
always
makes
say
it
that.
uncomfortable.
It's not
The
what
way
you
you
say, it's how
deliver
you
it.
say it.
The way she delivered, like she wasn't finding me, period.
It was like he was waiting for something to jump.
Yeah, like, oh, he ain't smoking weed. Oh, this is my
you probably
chance.
expected me to smoke weed, shorty.
Right.
You was probably in your dressing room like.
But
I'm
then when
sure
I see
smoking.
Melissa Ford, I'm thinking she's going to be the way Nanda was, and the opposite. Like, Ness, pass it.
Right.
And I'm back there smoking with Melissa.
Like, oh, so we can smoke here.
Yeah.
Now we can smoke here. Bro, I literally know these situations.
Right.
And it's like, it's weird as fuck, and it'll change. Like, in a minute, y'all gonna say,
go. And I'ma still feel like that.
Right.
Cause it just happened.
Right.
I shook off my whole day to be right.
Real shit.
Came here and said this one last L and I'm ready for y'all.
Right.
Right?
Hell yeah.
True or false? I don't want to make no assumptions, but that's usually how it goes. And because it's not like I'm trying to be Snoop and show y'all that I smoke the most weed. No, this is my regimen.
Right.
That's a Fendi.
I got an hour and a half to 2 hour period between when I need to hit another fucking L.
Exactly.
That's a Fendi.
That's an extension.
Absolutely.
That's when I'm not around where I want to be.
Listen,
I would
man.
get kicked out of the club to go outside and keep smoking my weed. I don't give a fuck. I
Right.
can't smoke in here. I gotta go.
And that's how I be.
Just don't harass me. Don't try to.
So
pull me
I
up.
I try to go into everything loose.
Right.
Like, I mean,
It's not disrespect.
it's not disrespect. I just don't like being off guard when somebody's being mean. I like being ready for it.
But you were trying to come
Prepared.
down.
Yeah,
coming down when she was
Yeah,
going
I'm
out,
like,
though.
yeah,
Y'all
I'm
was
about
on
to go.
different
Yeah.
escalators.
She
She
like,
yelling at you. You on your way down like, I'm going to the
What?
gap.
Shut up. Yeah.
Like, what's wrong? The
Yeah.
gap.
It makes me feel awkward. It makes me feel out of place, and I don't like feeling out of place because I'm a old soul. I feel like I've been here before. So to come at me, you just hating because I'm genuine all around. I'm just a giver. Like I'm a Scorpio. I'm a selfish, but I'm a giver.
You know I'm about to mess
A
with you.
giver as why I want you to be who are everything you want to be. If you want to be tough and kill people and remain my friend, then do that.
I've never seen you look at anybody judgment.
But if you're a good person, and I know you're a good person, and I know some of your circumstances may have been why you turned out the way you turned, I won't judge you because I know, like, damn, he had it rough. He had to do that and that. But inside, he's a good person.
Right.
I saw the K Walker face off when you was trying to explain something to him.
What was I trying
You
to
was
say?
doing it with love, and you got frustrated. You kept trying to explain to him that something about his demeanor and his nonchalantness comes across a certain way. And he was trying to say, so y'all want me to act the way you want me to act. And you were saying, not at all. But I know that you're more than just what you're presenting. And the people would appreciate that. It was a love thing. And you got so frustrated with it. And shout out to you because you was folding the same Dana for about 10 minutes.
Wasn't
I
it?
got some good screenshots. I got to get you the maroon pup.
Right.
That's why
But,
my placement like this. I said I'm doing the Ness placement. Yeah.
That is what she said, bro. She
That was
said I'm
fire.
gonna do the E-Ness placement.
Yep.
But no, like I seen where it was coming from because your stance was we are Battle Academy and we are Philly Battle Rap at the same time. So within you saying we shouldn't have to battle each other, you were saying this is how we should carry things and this is how you could be greater in your position and people would understand a greater K Walker than they're seeing, than what they're getting from you because they're taking it the way that you don't understand that they're taking it.
Yeah, being in just the podcast, K Walker's the little bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean, and you know, shout out to him and everything
Shout out
he's
to K Walker.
doing.
He's been on this platform.
I just
plenty
felt
of
as
times.
though, you know what I mean, at a point in time, sometimes I get, as I get older, I get kind of stubborn, and sometimes I get frustrated with connecting or resonating what I want people to understand.
Because it's the I know what I know thing.
Yeah, so it's like, and then we men,
Right.
so that plays a part. So all the yelling and the screaming and the raising of the voice, but just
No, it's sold the fight,
particularly
though.
what I wanted to just my point I was trying to make, like, bro, this is a business. If you don't want to, you could be how you want to be,
Right.
but the business is that of a character. You know, different from a Hollywood actor playing. You know what I'm saying? This is what people pay you to see.
We love each other, but we could turn up
Now,
right
being
now for the
slouched
face
in your
off.
chair and being off standish in your posture, and you're not really, it's lopsided, and I don't want that for us.
And
I
those
want
are
it to, you know
nonverbal
what I mean?
cues, too. People don't
You feel
understand.
me?
Then it looks like y'all not, even though y'all not equals on some levels, because it looks like you just talking down to him if he's just checked out of it.
And people don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't want that for us.
Yeah, that's not thorough.
Yeah, I ain't, you know what I mean?
That's not thorough.
And sometimes, sometimes you can curve some things. But at that point in time, I'm like, come on, don't do this like this. Like, lift up, sit up a little bit, man. Like,
'Cause this is about to
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
goodie.
yeah,
We
yeah.
about to have a goodie.
yeah, because
And it's
it
gonna
got
be
to
dope
a
for
point that
Battle
I'm feeling
Academy.
like it's just like he don't have no interest or was nothing invested. Like, he not happy to be doing this now to where we getting money from it. And I understood what era he's from, the DV, and he getting shot, and he was looked over by a couple of artists, and he's now just getting his just due. And I know how that feels,
Right.
And I'm happy for that.
Absolutely.
But it just, to me, and it's not just with K Walker, it's just with a few of the artists in the past. When my name come up, it's just a sort of a, and I don't like that because I put so much into it.
But we didn't see that out of K in the battle.
No,
In the
exactly.
battle, we actually seen that he gave a fuck.
Right.
Like, let's keep it G. He gave a fuck.
I don't be liking that, and sometimes I'm underprepared because of that energy that the narrative they paint. No, this is just Ness. I'm gonna go down there and get my little couple dollars. Ness gonna scream and do his wiggly, and I'm gonna go home.
Nah, that ain't all you.
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
know
Now
what you're saying.
people are really pushing it. Like, nah, I'm really trying to beat Ness. Fuck all that taking off and come getting a dollar, come getting a little bag. I'm really trying to show out.
You feel it now. You feel the difference.
And that's why and when they try hard, that's them respecting me.
Absolutely.
And I built that because the climate was, and even Stiz, may not feel it
They
that
tried to
because
give you the
he's
washed up
protecting the
joint.
brand, and I am too. And they just was like, oh, that's Ness. I'm gonna go down there and get that little check. Ness gonna do him. I'm gonna do me. The least I could do, and get out of there. Ain't nobody gonna care. That's Ness. He clunked me. All right, it was in Philly. Cool. All right, bet. But now is no. I'm on my shit. I'm trying to get the love in Philly.
You realize
So to get the love through Philly, I'm trying to show the Philly fans that I'm with this shit.
You realize Danny just showed you a lot of love after y'all battle?
Yeah,
You checked like 5 things off his bucket list.
Hell yeah.
He never battled
And
a
you should
Philly
feel
rapper
like that.
in Philly.
That's how I feel like when I do tracks with Method Man. That's how I feel like when I do tracks with,
That's respect. That's love.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm excited for your EP you got coming out.
And I've been seeing your page. The fight that you talking Benny and Meth. This 2 weeks ago. Within the last 2 weeks, I should say.
Right.
Gotta move around.
Cause let's
You
keep
can't
it
be
G.
scared.
We had the conversation. You was coming to Fly Day the week of the battle, and then next thing I know, you was up and doing big business, and niggas was like, "Yo." I ain't tell everybody, but I told a couple people. Ness said he gonna slide, and they was like, "What happened to that?" I'm like, "You check his IG."
Right.
We see him when he get back. I catch you when he get back.
Right.
I ain't feel slighted at all. And actually,
right.
to keep it G with y'all, he approached me. He said, "Bro, I was at the station the other day. I thought you was gonna bring me on air." I said, "Bro, that's like your house. So if you in your living room, I'm not going to just make you get up and work unless you look like you trying to work."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he said, "No, I got you though. So I'm coming this week." And it was like that.
See?
So when I told the logo, and I think I might have told Freaky or one other person, and they was like, "That's still coming." And I'm like, "Y'all ain't see this nigga IG?"
Right.
And it's just,
I didn't expect him today.
And not for nothing, it's just easier to operate people like that. People that understand the boundaries and people that just know how to, massage a situation instead of just, man, you ain't coming to the joint, goddamn.
Well, if I asked you to come,
No, I'm
you to
just not
come and
saying
you was
you. I'm just
available,
saying a lot of people
but I understand that if I asked you to come,
dealing with this glocawear family is a huge family. A lot
Absolutely.
of people do a lot of events,
Absolutely.
a lot of stuff, and sometimes a lot of people don't make it to every event.
right?
And I'm not one of them people. If you don't come, you didn't come. You just get the next one.
I entertain who's in front of me.
If I want to come to your joint and support you, I'm gonna come. If I didn't feel like coming out that night and I just feel like relaxing, then I want you to respect that too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I never was the ones like, he didn't come to my joint, he showed me love. Now it's vendetta. Now you the I don't be like that.
Yeah.
Because people got their own shit going on.
Now-
And that's why I have fun when I battle rap and do things dealing with music, because it's like my escape from reality. Because soon as I return, it's bills and kids and real life and grown up,
Which
and,
is all work.
doctor's appointments and blood pressure pills and all types of bullshit.
Talk about it.
So that makes me feel like a kid. So that's why I be wiggly. I be having a time of my fucking
do.
life. That's
And
the
I don't
only
wanna
time
take away from
that.
that.
My time machine opens up and I get to go back through that.
Right.
But to play devil's advocate, and never to nobody that want to throw shots and act crazy about it.
Right.
But to people that try to take advantage of when they have you in front of them,
Right.
I know that if I call Ness and I say I need you to come through, if you're available, you're going to come through. A lot of people don't have that. You see what I'm saying? So when they in front of the guy, they like, "Yo, bro, what you doing? Yo, what you?" And I don't have to do that. You had a show on the station and still have a slot.
Like, you know,
right.
Took is
No,
waiting
hell
for
yeah.
you to say go,
Hell
and
yeah.
he'll load you right back up.
No, hell yeah.
But at the same time, it's one of them things. It's like, yo, bro, Ness here all the time. He showed out for the fly girls. He went out front. He chopping it with the people. I'm going to let him breathe. But if he walk back here, I'm going to say, bro, you feel like sitting down?
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
As
that's
you
how I
should.
carry it with people like you and with most people. Because at the end of the day,
Right.
none of my platforms are based off of the guests. They're based off of the energy. The guests help a lot. The guests bring eyes. The guests bring their own energy to it. But I never want to make it where you only watch Sippin with Sammie because you expect to see the most popular person in the world on it. I want you to fuck with Sav. I want you to fuck with the Sammie. I want you to appreciate the production. I want you to, you know what I mean?
No.
It has to feel
I
organic.
definitely
It
do.
can't feel
Or
fought
I
for.
wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying you. I'm just
no, I
talking
know,
about
but
in
not for
general, yeah.
nothing, man. I'm a, you know, earlier in my career, you know what I mean, I just was a bad judge of character, and I endorsed a lot of the wrong people. And lately, the energy that's been around me as far as glocawear, you, Sav, fine, chick with the juice too. It's just like, you know what I mean. I'm real. Gotta understand, I'm the middle child. So, my sister is 9 years older than me, and my little brother is 11 years younger than me.
Wow.
So people sometimes people they interpret your absence as negative. Like, he ain't fucking with niggas, or he don't. But people understand that's just, you know what I mean. That's how I am. That's how I always been. That's all what I always had to deal with. I always had to navigate through life by myself.
Yeah, because
you
you're
know
so
what I mean?
far away from you.
And once I get myself together, I bring my good energy back. I never bring bad energy back.
Right. That's
Which is important.
So when I come around, smile, hey, I got new songs. Yes, Bob. I never come back. Yeah, man, I ain't doing too well.
I don't want
Like,
to see that.
you know what I'm saying?
Unless you want to holler at me and
Right.
we going to help figure it out.
I don't think that's.
But I don't want to see
I
that.
don't think now people might think different. I don't think that's an honorable trait.
Right.
And I don't like people that come around with that energy because I feel burdened because I'm just a good person. I'm
You
not
don't start
gullible,
crying and
but
turn
I'm a
on your
good person
Instagram
because
live.
I feel,
Right.
sometimes I feel entitled. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I might do tough love. Bro, you need to handle that. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, man. Well, let me make a few phone calls and see if I can. And sometimes people, when you overextend your hand, they think it becomes routine in them.
Yep.
I don't want to be people's crutches. I want to be a help when I can,
Yep.
when I'm able.
And it's appreciated on my side.
So
It's
I'm
appreciated.
never,
Outside, absolutely.
I never, wherever I go, the vibe is there. It's not calculated. It's not robotical. It's not strategic.
It's genuine. And
I'm
organic.
only going where the vibes was already there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, Ness, you don't do my show. I don't do my, and it's not. I don't want to do it. I wish there was twos of me so I could do everything, but it's not. There's not enough hours in a day. And
That's something I have to deal with.
you know what I mean?
Because I feel guilty for certain
Right.
shit that I miss. But I make so much shit that I had to have other people tell me, like, bro,
anything that
you
dealing
can't
with
hit
this,
everything.
when you production, even when I'm behind doing everything, that's a job, and it becomes a job. And sometimes, like I said, you have some good days and you have the good days, but the key is making that balance where you know what I
Yep.
mean, you dealing with, you know, reality or family life or personal life, and you got business on the other hand, and you balancing it. And some might deteriorate sometimes more than the other, and some might surpass
Absolutely.
on positive levels. So it's all about that balance. So my kids are smart. You know, we went to Central, so we have the book smart.
Talk that shit.
So
It's a blessing.
I
that
know
the
that's
book smart and
instilled
street
in them.
smart.
But what I really try to teach my kids is, you know, just to make good choices with your friends, people you call your friends, man.
That's what I tell my kids
Because
too.
they are the infiltrators. They're the
Circle
ones
is
that know
important.
everything. They're the ones that can hurt you
The most.
the most.
Yep. And it's simple, and people don't understand it. And it's like, well, who else would you give a fuck about hurting you?
But you know what? It's interesting.
Like, you
just
expect
added
it from
something.
anybody else.
He just added something on because I always tell. I don't. You know what? You just mine are a little young, probably younger, but I always tell them make sure they're mindful of their decisions. Not even the people, but I got to add the people, their friends, because I always tell them because my kids are 6 and 7, so I tell them you make good choices, good things happen.
Right.
You make bad choices, bad things happen. So
Facts.
make sure you mindful of those things. But I haven't had the conversation about their friends yet, and I'm glad that you pointed it out because that's something that I'm about to do.
That's a pivotal process for children. And sometimes
But
kids are influenced by a lot of things. They're influenced by their mother, the father, an uncle, a pastor,
Right.
A public figure, a sports figure, a
Right.
dope dealer, a pimp.
Right.
Right.
The
Because
neighbor.
we can't mention the good things without the bad things that's
Absolutely.
around too.
Environment.
So
Absolutely.
I say people because people be influential in your life, whether it was a positive effect or is a negative effect. So I be like, just watch the people that you call your friends. That's all, and as well as try to make good decisions. You know what I'm saying?
I think one thing that should be added, and I think will be full circle, is
Oh, you doing my love hurt?
well, one thing that I know that my dad made sure that I always had to be accountable for was know the difference between the excuse and the reason. Everybody can
You always
say
say that.
why they did some shit just because they got a why to say.
Right.
Know the difference between the excuse and the reason. I overslept. Why the fuck did you oversleep?
What's the?
I wasn't being responsible. I didn't set my alarm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't just because anybody, you could call somebody, we got studio time first thing in the morning. Yeah, book it. You know what I mean? You call him in the morning, yo, we on time.
Yeah,
you don't get nothing.
Man, like I was out all like man, you had to push that joint back. Like, bro, I done
That's
paid
not
the
a
money for
reason.
that. Right. I done paid the money already. Why would you wait until 30 minutes within the session to tell me you can't do it?
And I hit you up. I was an alarm clock for your nut ass. You ain't hear that one. But
And
you
this brings us back to our first conversation. So I do not believe in people that much anymore. I just don't. I don't.
I'm getting there. I believe you.
I don't
I'm getting
believe
there.
in people anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't. I just that naive part of me when you just be like, you know, I'm giving you a benefit of the doubt. You got to earn that. You got to earn the benefit of the doubt for me now.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, you got to
As a
earn for me.
youngin-
Maybe I'll take this into consideration. You got to earn that.
As a youngin, you used to.
I feel you.
As a
Or if
youngin,
not, I'm cold. Icebox.
right,
Because
right. So listen.
it's
Why?
only going.
What am I opening myself up
Yeah,
to?
because it's
that
just-
I don't
No,
need?
but
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
youngin,
yeah.
I used to live by. I give somebody the rope to hang themselves with.
That's my favorite
That's how
line.
it was,
way
right?
shorter
That's
now.
my favorite line.
I don't even fuck a rope. Now you gotta earn the fucking rope.
You
Fuck
got to earn the rope.
You don't even get the rope.
You don't even get the
'Cause
rope
you give them
now.
an inch, they take a mile.
Right. You don't even get the rope. I'm going to give you the instruments that they hang yourself.
Right,
But you got to get to that. You got to win a race for that.
Right.
Because everybody's trying to do that.
right. So I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you for real. I'm really with you.
So, yeah.
Well, one thing I want to say
Niggas
is
just waiting in line to cross you.
everybody on this quote unquote panel is somebody that has a lot of things that they're trying to figure out, a lot of things that they have figured out, a lot of things that are positive going on. So you're always going to get every type of energy trying to attach themselves to that.
Absolutely, John
And
Belushi.
when you're at this point, you have to be super cautious of that. And it makes you sometimes feel like, damn, why do I have to be this way? But guess what? You got to protect your energy. You got to protect your space. You're responsible for a lot of other motherfuckers.
yeah.
Like I told Ness, him showing up to somebody means the world to them. It inspires them. Him saying words to somebody, him not having $1 to give them, but just being Ness means something. So he's here to affect as many of those people
Right.
Absolutely.
and spend less energy with the opposite.
Absolutely.
So he has to protect that, because the more time he spends around y'all fuck shit, the less time he has to do shit for somebody else. The less rooms he could walk in and out of and do 5 minutes of good
Yeah.
that'll last a lifetime for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I
That
think
impact.
that's an important place to wrap it. I think that's cool. I appreciate you, my brother, for pulling up. Once again, tell them where to find you at. We got to get that out there.
The new page is Ness_215. My verified page is under construction. We're working to get it back. I'm on Twitter, 215 Ness, and I'm on Facebook. Holler at me, Mark Zuckerberg. I know you run Instagram, Ness Mathis.
Up and coming battles.
212, June 26, Remorse, Reloaded. Top seed, Reed Dollars versus Danny Myers. The semi main event, 2-on-2, Ness Kaboom, now known as Necessary Cases
Say that.
versus Ryder and Cuban.
Word. And the EP drops.
Mid-July, Louisville Friends, Benny the Butcher, Method Man, Freeway, Beanie Siegel, PD Crack, Vado,
That's hot.
Corey Guns, Kid.
You got all my favorites. On
Right.
there,
I
except
can't
like
wait.
2.
I'm hyped. I'm like, I can't wait. You know, it's your girl, Sai. Holla at me on the Scene Magazine. We have some amazing articles. Make sure you check out onscenemagazine.com. From the Nile that's right here in Pennsylvania, and Yaten being the oldest black-owned pool in the country. We have information about financial information and health information. Just make sure you holla at me on thescenemagazine.com. We got you from the education, entertainment, edutainment. Holla at your girl.
That's what it is, man. Once again, shout out to Ness. Shout out to my fly girls. Shout out to my co-pilot, Saf. Shout out to Font Productions. Hit her up at PHANTPHILLY, Font Philly.
Big up.
Give her and get your business right.
Please. I don't say it enough, so I'm going to say it now. And if y'all still listening, the merch is available. Shot glasses are back. Beer mugs are here. Cognac glasses are here. Sam-danas, T-shirts, 100th episode tees, all type of limited edition stuff. Just hit me up. Hit anybody that you see around me up, and they'll direct you to how to get it right, man. We also have the website, sippinwitsammiey.com. I don't say that enough either.
You sure don't.
It's just a lot, man. It's a lot.
Self-love.
And the cookout is coming very soon, probably right after you see this motherfucker. Fly shit only. This has been another episode of Sippin with Sammie. I am Sippin with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't Sippin with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together. And look for the 6-pack coming soon, man. And the record I'm going to just swindle Ness into doing with me very soon, too. That part. Fly shit only.
Sam Malone. I swear. Yeah.
Toreup, rock, drink it, shot, drink it, shot, drink it, shot. Smoking pot, we smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. Toreup, rock, drink it, shot, drink it, shot, drink it, shot. Smoking pot, we smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. Large amounts of cognac, few L's with it, finest cheaper in the air. I'm in hell in it, light another to swing. Tell DJ Trail hit it, logo part of the show as usual. Bitches, they tore up, trying to get tore down. Unstable creatures is deep, no longer whores now. About to lay the law down. I ain't playing at all. Ladies come to the bar, suckers run to the car. Either I hit the deck, I ain't cutting the check. Smoking wood in your neck, no good is up next. Hope you enjoy it, I'm wrecked floor, ready to pass out. The tour must go on, I got a man shout. Toreup, rock, drink it, shot, drink it, shot, drink it, shot. Smoking pot, we smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. Toreup, rock, drink it, shot, drink it, shot, drink it, shot. Smoking pot, we smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock.
Oh my God, Mathis.
Early 2:30, this loud, you heard me. We outside, shoes dirty, broad day 2:30. Extended mop, spin this block, spin that bitch, spin it top, Uber pool, 30 stop, cross town, give me top. Taking shots, drinking Henny, kill me every time I'm Kenny. Eat this dick, we eatin' Denny's. Big smoke, that's a chimney.
Toreup, rock, drink it, shot, drink it, shot, drink it, shot. Smoking pot, we smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. Toreup, rock, drink it, shot, drink it, shot, drink it, shot. Smoking pot, we smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock. We smoking, drink when we rock.